welcome to the 4th ever Patches In podcast. I'm here with Dom.
Yo.
And Hamish.
Hello everyone.
And we're here to talk about games, mostly, and TV shows and whatever else we've been doing this week. So Hamish, how are you? What have you been up to?
I'm good. We were on holiday last week. We place called Musedale in Campbelltown. Got a bit of sun, quite a lot of drinking.
Quite a lot.
Good fun.
I got blinded.
Yeah, because you're not meant to put suntan lotion in your eyes.
See, I didn't think that. I was like, I need to protect my eyes somehow. I forgot my sunglasses, so I thought suntan lotion in the eyeballs would help. But
just spray it straight on.
Just right in
you want to keep the whites of your eyes. When they say white, you don't want those brown tanned eyes.
Oh, it was the worst.
It was a strange weekend for us because what did we play? We played one game of Smash Brothers or something
on a tiny screen with like tiny controllers, and
that was a bit
not what we're used to.
I think I tried to play some Dragon Ball Heroes, but that game is incomprehensible. So
I didn't even take my Switch because I couldn't find my Switch bag.
Really?
Yeah, I don't know where it's went, so I don't know if my brother's accidentally pocketed it. But
accidentally pocketed it?
Yeah, but there's like no game. Like, all the games are with me, so I don't understand why you would take it. But I couldn't take mine with it. So, but then there was no signal there anyway, so I couldn't even play any mobile games or anything like that. So
that was annoying.
Yeah, it was an awful weekend, just full of like talking to people and
talk about first world problems where the TVs were too small and there was no signal.
Smoking like through games.
Yeah, so we had to spend time with people.
Yeah, but that beach was nice though.
The beach was
fire,
nice.
Beach and beer.
Beach, beer and Jack.
Yeah,
and his brother Jack.
Jack and his brother Jack. Yeah, it was a good weekend.
Yeah,
spent a lot of time together. But then we got back to playing some games, didn't we? What have you been playing, Hamish?
I've been playing my time at Portia. I think it's Portia. Portia. Yeah. It's new on Game Pass just last week. It's a lot of fun. When I looked at it, it reminded me of something like, I don't know if you ever played Harvest Moon on like a Game Boy. You can farm
Harvest Moon,
or like Stardew Valley. It's like a 3D one of them.
A life simulator.
Yeah, but it's actually a lot more in depth than that, more than I realised. So I've been spending a lot more time on it than I thought I would. But there's even like, as well as you're basically a builder for this town, and they commission you to do things, and then you get your ranking up. And there's this wee total dick he's got the highest ranked one, so you definitely want to beat him. But there's this combat as well as boss fights. You can go exploring, digging up relics and stuff like that.
Boss fight?
Yeah, like there is missions that are like main story missions. So you'll need to like build a bridge to get over to this other small island, and then there's a cave there. You go through it, and there's this big rat boss thing.
Oh, okay.
It's way more in depth than I thought. I'm
Is that
spending
to
a lot more
open
time.
up other sides of the map? Or?
Yeah, I've only even opened up one bit yet, but looking at the size of the map and the bits I've uncovered, there's even more to it. It's a lot more vast.
Does it have battle music?
It does. Yeah, it's actually got quite nice cheery music usually. Aye. And there's some weird things as well. There's these rabbits with hats, like magicians' hats, and it's honestly
what happened
like
to the magicians?
That's a good question.
Did they eat them once they came out of the hat?
Exactly.
Yeah, must have. But there's so much to it. Like there's a lot to it. The only thing that annoys me about it is you only save it when you go to sleep at night,
right?
And that moves on to the next day, because obviously you've got like a calendar and all these events and stuff like that, which is cool. But
does your HP not recover, or like your sort of special power?
You get stamina, so
and
even
does that go down when and you need to go to sleep? It's not a fact that you have to go to sleep. You need to go to sleep to sort of.
Well, yeah, in the early stages you'll need to, but you can eventually get food and things like that, and you can build furniture for your house and do up your house. And the more things that you have in your house, you get like stamina boosts and things like that.
It sounds very like Persona-esque, like sort of for it as well.
There's resource management games, like it's like a life within a game.
Yeah,
it's good that you're putting a lot of effort into this fake life.
Yeah, more so than my real life.
No, I've got achievements to get in the game.
That's something. Normally when I play a game, one of the first things I do is I look at the achievements and I'm like, right, what achievements can I get out of this? But I've not actually done that with this game. I'm just enjoying playing it, which is...
I'm sure that's unhealthy. I did the same thing, but I'm sure that's unhealthy, because then start looking at a game and right, see if that's 60 hours, nah, I can play these other terrible games in 60 hours and get all the achievements.
But then again, it's a game that sort of engrosses you like that you don't need to worry about achievements. You're just there for to play the game because you enjoy it.
See, because you only save at night, I keep like, I'll go to sleep and I'll save it, and I'll be like, right, I'll play something else, or I'll do something else, And then I walk outside and I've got some mail in my mailbox and I'm like, I'll just check this out. And that leads on to something else, and then I'm like, I've already started today, so I might as well just do the whole day, you know.
Yeah.
Sounds good. Sounds like I really enjoyed it.
It's really addictive, man. It's good. It's not repetitive, you know, which you would normally get with those kind of games. Like, oh, I need to get up and, you know, sow my seeds and, you know, cut the trees down and all that shit. And obviously there is a bit of that, but it doesn't feel like you're a chore. Yeah, it doesn't feel mundane, you know.
Would you have played this game if you didn't get it for free on Game Pass?
Nah, see, even just looking at it, not that there's anything wrong with like the graphical style or anything like that, it just wouldn't have jumped out at me, so I wouldn't have paid for it. No. Maybe now that I've played it, I would have paid a bit for it, but it's not like a £40 RRP when I wouldn't have even really, it wouldn't have been on my radar unless it was on Game Pass, to be honest.
That's not a good thing with Game Pass. You give games a try that you wouldn't normally.
It was like 9 out of 10 on Steam and stuff like that, and it, you know, it is highly rated, but it just never popped up to me. I think it was only out in January, so it's not very old, you know. It was on the start of the year. But I'm definitely glad it was on Game Pass and I gave it a shot.
You put a lot of hours in?
Probably about 15 hours or something like that so far.
That's quite a lot.
Quite a lot for it's only been on a week or something. So yeah, it's good. It's like I say, it's just moreish, you know. You just like one more day, one more day. Come
on, man! I got one more day. Unfortunately, boys, I didn't actually get a chance to play any games this week.
You get kicked off this podcast.
The only reason I was like really ill before we went off on the holiday, and it was pretty bad. I think I checked my watch of how many hours I slept, and it was 65 hours across 4 days. And I'm like, did I just sleep for like most of it?
Try to count how many hours in 4 days. Like
so you've got about
24 times 4,
96. 96?
96, aye. So I slept.
Don't fucking keep me that look again.
So like the only day that I was technically up was on Tuesday, and I went to see my wee nephews, and then Wednesday, Thursday, like I had no voice. So you can still kind of hear it. It's not as bad as it's been.
Oh, we should have done the podcast then.
No voice. But unfortunately, I've got some games that I'm wanting to sort of play, like finish through Ninja Gaiden, obviously. But I was wanting to do that and talk about how the game sort of feels nowadays for it. But I didn't really get a chance to do it. But I've got halfway through the game. I'm on against like I think it was like the second big boss you need to fight. It was like that blonde lassie's sister that's gotten taken over by a monster. It's very
good description.
Typical anime kind of.
Yeah, it's very Team Ninja,
her boobs?
like ridiculous, like ridiculous, like her sisters.
Sounds about right.
So like,
family of giant boobs.
Yeah.
I think you mentioned that last time that it feels you're a lot better at it now.
Yeah, with the timing and stuff. So it still has that difficulty curve where it's just like they just take max damage against you, like one hit you're dead in 2. But then Gaiden games have always been like that. But I didn't get a chance to finish that off. So hopefully next time we speak, I'll finish that and start with something else.
I think you're lying though. I think you did play one game and you played it with us.
What game was that?
Well, we played some
Crash Team Racing.
Oh, that's
Crash. We played some Mario Kart as well in Musedale, didn't we? But
yeah, I played a little bit, but Mario Kart.
That's right. We forgot like when we had the time, like when you unreleased it, we actually played that and we streamed it.
Yeah, the last time we recorded the podcast, I think we stopped the podcast and went straight to playing CPR.
Yeah, because you're just like, it was installed, boys.
I was awful at it.
Yeah. It was quite tough. You think it's just a kart game, it'll be fine, but see, really like not knowing the courses and things like that really makes a difference. These are just my excuses because I sucked really bad.
Do you know what the worst thing was as well? People saw it because we twitched it. Dom, did you know we had the Twitch?
I did know we had the Twitch. Do you know what the address is here?
It's twitch.tv/patchesingaming.
Well, one more time.
twitch.tv/patchesingaming.
And again for the people in the back.
That was beautiful, mate.
There's no people in the back.
Dom, where can we find the times of when we're streaming?
You can find them on our Instagram at patchesinofficial, and you can also find it on our Twitter at patchesin. Is that
Excellent.
true? Oh, there you go.
Plugging is done. Back to CTR.
Back to the.
So I do remember playing Crash Team Racing like a motherfucker when I was younger, and like I cannot remember the boosts being that hard at all. Is it just me with my like old age of like, you know, or the weird sort of way you do your reloading in Gears of War now that I'm kind of off pace of how to do it.
You need
But
practice
it did take us a good while before we got it.
Yeah, I was last in almost every race, and now I've been playing single player and stuff. I'm a lot better with the timing.
Getting practice for the next time that we play.
Yeah, I'm not coming last again.
Don't want to get harassed on Twitch, mate.
I know, bitch.
Well, my girlfriend Sinead played the first one on the PlayStation.
Oh, she was brilliant at
to
it.
death, and she was well better than the rest of us. But she also found it difficult. She can't get the timing down on the bursts.
It was weird. I don't remember it being like that. Is that the
I think
mechanic
it's
it used to be?
I think it's the same.
It's the same
just
mechanic.
so different from Mario Kart. And then we were playing Sonic Team Racing a couple of weeks ago as well, and it's even like Sonic Team Racing is just Mario Kart. So like you expect to boost around the corner and just slide, and the boost comes naturally, and you don't expect to have to like time these three.
Yeah.
And especially if you miss time it, your race is almost ruined. Like, it's so hard. Like certain parts of it, I was throwing the controller. She was like, "Calm down, I'll do it for you." I was like, "No, get away from me." But no, it's excellent. What a remaster. We should do this for more games.
The battle stuff was fun as well.
Yeah.
I like playing the battle modes.
Yeah,
it's quite a lot.
That feels a bit better seeing even Mario Kart's battle. See when they did that for Mario Kart 8. Because that battle always felt like janky.
Well,
it didn't feel as natural like as they had in the previous like Mario Kart games.
They messed up though, didn't they? At first, they did the tracks with the battle. They didn't make any battle arenas. It was tracks.
It was just like Yoshi's weird sort of one. It was weird, but that was on the Wii U, wasn't it?
Yeah. Then they made battle ones for
the
Ultimate.
Switch. Yeah,
but yeah, they kind of fucked that up.
Yeah,
battle was a big part.
It's so much fun. Like to have something away from the races and just beat up your pals.
Well, this is the second remaster of a Crash. Well, Crash Trilogy is 3 games, but like 2 games come out, Crash remasters, and people are complaining about how difficult they are. Do you remember when people were saying that Crash?
They were difficult before.
Yeah, well, we better. Or were games just?
No, it's because we played it. I'm sure if we played them now, like as much as we played them before, we would.
What I was thinking is that games were generally harder back in the PS1 days. But nowadays they're a bit more hand-holdy until you get used to it.
Yeah.
Not then where it was like, oh, you can't play this, you better practice the first level over and over and over again.
I think it was more because they wanted longevity for their games. It's like a lot like but the difficulty wasn't that hard for it. I think you are correct, but it's just a lot of hand-holding you get in these games now. Like you always see that sort of meme going about, like, why is Dark Souls not got an easy mode? Why is this not got an easy mode? And it's like, those games are meant to punish you for not being good at the game.
Yeah.
Just because you find it hard doesn't mean that you should nerf it for other people.
Yeah.
But then you are alienating, like, some people from it, but then they're not the ones that are going to enjoy your game. Like, I mean, you see it sort of quite a lot with, like...
I put some games on easy mode just because I can't be bothered with the constant
sometimes you just want to see the story of a game and play it and enjoy it. So
I completely understand that. Or it's like it's your career, like you're needing to go through all these bunch of games. You want to have that easy mode for it.
I did it with Wolfenstein. I think I did it with Doom as well. Like I was like, I can't be bothered just sitting in this room and dying time after time after time.
I did the exact opposite
and experience it.
See, if the Wolfenstein one, I put it on the hardest mode, and it was purely because I looked at the achievements and there was an achievement for playing it on the hardest mode, and then I got to like really really near the end and I got stuck at this one bit and I ended up not playing it for like a year because I was like, fuck this, I just totally rage quit. And it was only last month or something like that I went back to it and I finally managed to finish it. So
was that against the big boss thing in the chains?
But it wasn't even like I never even got to that bit. It was like just the big room before. It was just too many fucking enemies. But I persevered and I kept it on the hardest mode and I eventually finished it, so that felt good. But I could have finished it so much longer ago if I just put the fucking difficulty down. But it was just a pride thing. It's like, no, I've played this far, I'm fucking finishing it.
I know that feeling. I did that, see, with Halo Reach for it. Like that was like on the hardest difficulty in the Legendary. It was pure killer for it.
Yeah, the Halo games, I don't find them that hard on Legendary.
See now, like, I think after playing Reach, that is sort of like, like I've done I think the hardest sort of game they've done for it, and everything else on Legendary.
When you've got refillable health,
it's
run away.
It's just patience.
Back,
you just
run away.
just be
the waiting game.
Just shoot them a few times and then duck when you get a bit of health off you. Wait for it to regen and then just rinse and repeat. Just keep doing that, and then eventually you'll get past it. But
so I used to do in Call of Duty, stay at the back and pick off people as they came forward. But in the single player, then you'd you'd beat the single player in like 6 hours on the hardest difficulty, just standing at the back like,
yeah.
pop.
Just
Waiting
waiting for
for
that
the pop.
checkpoint
Yeah.
to come up, and then you run up and you see where they're coming next, and you die. And then you just
Because they had a system where there was only a certain amount of respawns of the soldiers. And I think later
Modern
on
Warfare 2 was like especially good for that, like the snow level.
Yeah.
For it.
Yeah.
Was like,
you just popped them for a distance and then went forward, and then they came forward again. You went back,
pop,
pop.
and then checkpoint, and then continue.
Yeah, games were harder. Just to go back to what we were talking about, like earlier games. Do you think that's coming from like an arcade, where obviously they want you to spend more money and
Spend more
to
time
get
on the arcade,
to get
yeah.
through the game?
It
Like,
is.
but obviously, we don't do that now. People just buy a game and then they have
Because
it.
it's
and-
more in the home now, and they just want to do it. And
yeah.
Games are more interactive movies, so you want to get through a movie. Like,
what
see
was-
like Uncharted?
Mm.
It's not a hard game at all.
No.
It's a series of set pieces they want you to get through.
Yeah.
So they will push you along
Help you do it, basically.
and help you along with it. Yeah,
definitely not played that game on crushing then. Oh,
Nah.
whew.
I don't play games on hardest difficulty
Because you're shite.
except FIFA. Oh, goddamn man.
I'm a legendary.
I am legendary then.
So apart from Crash, what else have you been playing here?
Well, you ever played a game called Yakuza?
Yakuzas?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I haven't been playing that. I've been playing
Nice segue there.
You heard of Pokemon Blue? I'm not that. That's a completely different game.
It's a different concept.
Judgment is made by the same studio as the studio made Yakuza. It's like Studio Rai Goiken.
Goiken,
I
yeah.
am not saying
It's
that.
part of Sega.
Yeah, it's
Stuff
part
like
Yeah, Sega. That's
Yeah.
a lot easier to say.
And they've been making Yakuza games for like 12 years, something like that,
that.
15 years.
Nearly 15 years.
I think the Yakuza one came out on the PS2.
I think that's the only one I've played. It was one of the PS2 ones. I've never
Kiwami's
played any
really
of
good. See,
the
like the remakes they've been doing. Like I was watching Kev play through the first one, and it was really, really fun.
I remember you telling me it was pretty mental in places though, like
Yeah.
a lot of strange stuff going on, but it's
What
Japan
strange
thing.
Well, alright, Yakuza is GTA in Tokyo
Yeah.
with a Japanese weird spin on it with lots of weird missions and
But it's more instead of being with like GTA where you've got the vast open space, it's all like inside like a small town. Very like what Shenmue used to be like. What
yeah, it's
Shenmue
not a
used to
big
be.
giant open world. Like,
But
especially Judgment, it's not a big giant. You can run from one side to the other in like a minute.
Yeah.
But it's because of everything else that's around it. You can
Yeah.
go into that shop.
There's
You can.
so many things,
Yeah.
so many shops. You can, like, because we'll go to Japan in a couple of months. So I was going into shops and looking at the food and stuff like that, and looking at the things they're selling. And I'm like, oh, that's pretty real. Like, I wonder if that, like, because it's Judgment set in Cambodia.
Mm-hmm.
I'm butchering all these
It's alright,
Japanese
it's
names.
Right, yeah.
But like Camarocho, it's in Camarocho, not
Sorry.
Cambodia. I'm sure that's a drink. Camarocho in Tokyo, and that is a real place.
Mhm.
So I'm wondering if like I get used to that area. I can
Aye.
go, down
Yeah,
here.
I don't hear
How well detailed it is.
I don't think it's 1-to-1, but it's really interesting. In Yakuza, you're a super badass called Kiryu, and this you're a bit of a pretty boy detective
Alright.
who used to be a lawyer. I'm going to ruin the first 30 seconds of the game.
Go ahead. Spoilers for the
he-
first 30 seconds.
He was a lawyer, a really, really high-flying young lawyer who got a man off of a serial killer charge.
Mm-hmm.
And the first day out of jail, that guy killed his old girlfriend.
Wow.
So like he feels guilty of the
Right.
fact he got this guy off, and then the guy went and murdered that girl.
Yeah.
So
Alright, okay.
he quit being a lawyer and he's a detective now. So you've got
Oh.
everything that comes along with being a detective, like stakeouts, following people, gathering in evidence, and then presenting. It's almost like
It's Ace Attorney.
Ace Attorney. I can't say that word right.
Ace Lawyer guy.
Phoenix Wright. So you gather the evidence and you bring it to the actual lawyers, and you can go to court. You can go to Japanese court, which is a lot different. And
Like
you
Phoenix
present,
Wright,
you present evidence in a certain order so that like these people can either get off or you can prosecute them.
Right.
There's just a lot of side stuff in it though. Like any,
So, if you fail like a court case, does that change the story, or do you just fail and you retry it?
you just retry it. So far, I've not got to a bit where
Like a proper fail state that it's just like now continue.
Yeah,
It's not like Ellie Noir.
It's like a movie. I'm sure there will be forks in the road, but there's nothing so far, and I'm about 12, 13 hours in.
Mm-hmm.
There's a ton of side stuff to do. You make friends with random people like that own shops, and then people are trying to like rob them and stuff, and you'll chase, like there's a chase mechanic where like you're running through the streets and like you'll have to press the buttons in order.
Quick time.
So you like
QTE,
quick times events, so you jump over things and.
So it's like Shenmue then, because Shenmue had that, like when
Yeah.
you're running away from like of chasing guys and they're throwing watermelons and chickens and all that.
Yeah, aye, they throw things and you've got to press the button to duck under.
It's like Heavy Rain. Is it like that where you're moving the analog sticks as well?
Heavy Rain.
Oh.
You know, like
A
Heavy
guy
Rain?
got hit with a fish in Heavy Rain. Like,
Jason.
try his hand.
I still do that when my brother Jason goes missing somewhere. I'm like, Jason.
How can he go
Jason.
missing the size of the boy?
His big giant head above everything else. But yeah, no, Judgment is really, really good. It's kind of. Sinead's been watching me play it because of the mysteries in it. Because you try to solve a murder
Yeah.
or a series of murders, and then there's these bad yakuza you're trying to face. But the only problem is,
As opposed to the good Yakuza.
well, there is.
There's Yakuza with hearts of gold, I'm sure.
You need to Kiryu, mate. You need to play Yakuza.
I wanted him in Smash Brothers so much, man.
I don't
I
think
thought
it
he'd be
fits.
brilliant. No, it definitely doesn't.
But
Him and Falco, man.
Solid Snake wouldn't really fit, but
the weird thing about this game is, it's like they've stepped out of Yakuza, but they haven't stepped out
Of
all the
Japan.
way. No, like you
So
like
maybe-
sneak through a building to like, because you're just a detective guy and there's these super tough Yakuza in this building. You're sneaking your way through, and then you just open a door and there's 20 Yakuza and you fight them. And you're like, why am I fighting them? like, so you batter all these Yakuza, like you beat them
As
all.
you do, yeah.
You
And
know
then-
those sort of highly tuned skilled lawyers and that. Right?
Aye, because lawyers can beat gangsters in fist fights, especially 20 of them in one
That's
go.
so
That's part of the bar, you know.
Yeah.
20 guys.
So they've just they don't. I don't think they know how to create that balance of like making you feel underpowered compared to these big giant tough guys, because they've been creating games where you are the big giant tough guy.
Yeah.
So that's the only weird thing about it, but I'm still enjoying it. The fighting's actually really fun in it, because you'll be running through the streets doing some side mission where you have to collect cats. There is a cat collecting thing in it.
Nice. Sold.
And then there'll be 4 guys in pink shirts, Yakuza.
You're like,
They're
"I'll
just
take
like,
my
hey
money."
you, and you turn around and you fly kick them for a mile away, and people are just like clapping in the streets, and
Yeah.
it's like, this game is fucking weird.
It sounds like the kind of Japanese element of it, you know. Like
Yeah.
they
It's
like
more
that
of a
kind
fantasy sort of one.
Yeah.
for it.
The other thing is the Sega arcades in this thing,
Yeah.
and you go in and you can play Sega games.
That's
There's
Yeah, I
like,
heard the Virtua Fighter and Outrun is in it.
Virtua Fighter 5's in it.
Wow.
Yeah, I know it, and that's a Xbox 360 game.
Oh, that's
That's another
I remember
Shenmue
the
thing as
arcade
well,
version.
man. They had that in Shenmue. You
yeah,
could go in the arcade
Shenmue had
and
like
play
stuff like that
old
as well,
games.
but it was set for their times and all that as well.
Yeah.
Same with the Yakuza games, they have it for it as
I think
well.
they have Sega Dreamcast. I think Shenmue had Sega Saturn.
Because they had Sega Saturn's Virtua Fighter. Like
Well, I was
with the
playing
blocks.
Fantasy Zone. You ever play Fantasy Zone?
No,
It's like a
no.
cute 'em up shooter. You're the wee thing.
Yeah, you
fly
just start
back
shooting,
forward.
wasn't it?
You
Right.
shoot. It's fun. And then I was like, why am I playing a game within a game? I have this game. Why am I playing this game
This
in
actual
this
game.
game? And then there was another place where you had to go play poker in a casino.
Oh yeah.
And I was like, I really want to play poker. So I sat and played poker for like 2 hours, just winning money. And I was like, I'm playing a game in a game again. What am I doing?
Yeah,
Nah,
but then
I did that with like Red Dead Redemption. I used to just go and play poker or any of the other kind of mini games like Liar's Dice and stuff like that. They were
Yeah.
a lot of fun, you know.
the side missions generally can be fun, more fun than the main campaign sometimes. But then like sometimes you just need a break from it. It's nice to sort of sit and play like cards and.
It was good. It was a lot of fun. The characters in this are a lot of fun as well. Like you've got a best friend, ex Yakuza guy called Kaito. It's just so fun. Like he's got a bright orange shirt and like he's just a badass. Comes out of nowhere and just kicks people free and stuff like that. He's a bit dumb as well, but like
he's
heart
lovable.
of gold.
Heart
He's
of
got
gold. Heart of gold. Yeah, back to that.
It's just the game is just quality as well. I found nothing wrong, like no bugs or glitches. The only thing I find hilarious about it is like the camera's a bit slow, so when you're running upstairs, you're running head first into walls constantly. The guys
I
like
can't keep up with you.
shaking and stuff like that. But I definitely recommend this game. If you like Yakuza, if you like any kind of open world games, it's only on the PS4. So
Exclusive, yeah.
and our PS4 exclusive that you need to get.
Aye. Just it's crazy, like like how well they've won this war this year, or
Yeah,
this generation,
Just with single player games as well.
and it's crazy.
this isn't really like a game that we were playing in the house, but we were at the VR simulator the other day, weren't we?
Oh,
in Glasgow, the driving one. That's a lot of fun. I don't know if you've been to that. What is the game that they actually play? It's just they just get rigs.
It's
Like,
Project Cars.
Yeah, because like we went there for a stag do once for it, and like I played like 1.5 laps and I couldn't continue because like the VR made me really bad, and I was like, how? Because like I've got the VR in the house, and I've never had that feeling, because like I was like, who gets sick with motions? Like, remember I took off motion sickness, and I was like, what the heck? And I'm like, I need to tap out. But
it's a bit more immersive with the seat that moves and the fans and stuff like that.
It's got the gyro seat, and it's got the fans that are calibrated to go at the same speed as the air would go by if you were driving
the faster
the car.
You go, the faster they.
And it was just like, there's a road in it. It's not a real place. It's a Scottish road. I think you played it as well.
Yeah.
It's meant to set between like Fort William and Inverness, where it's just all hills.
Yeah.
It's just back road, and we were going these 900 brake horsepower Le Mans cars, and it was just wild. Like, you were just shaking my forearms were solid because you were trying to hold this force feedback wheel.
Yeah, it was so good, like how immersive it was, because like you did feel like you went in this like the warm up track was like the F1 sort of car.
Yeah, that was different. That was F1 is well more difficult than the normal cars,
because like that acceleration, you're like, you should really start braking like 5 seconds ago. You're like, what?
You try to turn a corner, you're still going straight on. You're like, what is going on? So many times, like Hamish went by me on one lap, and then like I'll ruin the next 2 laps because I was trying to chase him. And I was like, I'm going to catch him, crash! And then he'd go another 5-10 seconds ahead of me, and I'm like, right, calm down. You just want to beat him on lap times. You don't care where we are on the actual track.
Yeah, even though I did.
I
started behind you and got ahead of you both times.
Then
you hit a wall and get stuck.
That happened twice.
Well, I heard you speak to each other and and I was like, how do you reverse it? I'm not reversing.
Who's Ablo telling you?
I was like, I don't know, mate. No, I just drove by and I just smashed into him, and I was like, see if I help.
It was so painful though, because the wheel span. The force feedback wheel spun and almost broke my wrist. I had to try to hold on to it.
Who was it? Was it Tony was just screaming when that happened to him? Was like, the fuck? Because I was over the headset. It was like, it was pretty funny. That's a really good.
The whole setup is I think it's an Oculus Rift. It looks like an Oculus. It's not a Vive.
Either an Oculus or something like that.
It's quite a powerful PC.
Fans, just running on Steam,
gyro seat, and force feedback wheel. I think they said it was about £1,500 for the whole. If you wanted to build your own, because you don't need the big flat screen 4K TV that they've got with it as well. But it is expensive. It was $27.50 for two 20-minute
races. Yeah,
and
we ended up getting some extra time because he was stuck on a wall for so long.
And they
felt bad.
They felt bad and gave us an extra 12 minutes. So. And he was so apologetic because I was so angry. I was like, I'm not playing this again. Fuck this place. And he was like, no, we'll give you 10 minutes. I was like, fine.
You get me.
The other thing about that is, I didn't notice any difference between Oculus and PSVR, but that could be just in detail. Like the actual experience is kind of similar, but the further away detail might be completely different.
I think it is, like, you could tell, see, like, with the scenery for it, like, with PlayStations it can be a bit more blurry for it, with the Vive it's a lot more clear.
You won't have the same draw distance, probably. I was trying to look around, like, whenever we would get to a straight, but they don't last very long, so you're kind of like, looking around, oh shit, back, turn.
I was trying to look at my lap times, and every time I looked at my lap time it would vibrate because I was off the track and I was trying to get back on. That was a lot of fun. We should do that again as a big group. Yeah,
because like when we did it for that, we all started drinking and all that, and had like.
I let you bring drinking and stuff like that, which is good.
Yeah, we were drinking bottles of Jack and rum while driving and almost being sick.
Shouting Jack train.
There was when we were in there was a party. I don't know what it was. Some big party, and there was this woman. She was just screaming as loud as she could.
Like not even like but like properly like screaming for like 12 seconds at a time.
And screaming, shouting guys' name, like, that sounds weird, but shouting the guy's name that she was with from like over the other side of the fucking the shop. She's just screaming.
We were like to the guy running it, like, do they know that they're in a party chat? Like,
they all had headphones on and a party chat, and she's trying to shout over the party chat.
Yeah, just to get over from.
and we could hear her in hours. So we
she
were off on
shouted
our own 2B simulators.
Yeah.
So like we were speaking to each other, and then you could hear her coming through our mics.
Because she was that loud.
Shouting that loud.
Jesus.
Yeah, it was.
Must have been our first VR experience, I'm guessing.
Yeah, because it can be quite immersive. See if you've never used VR as well.
Yeah, definitely, man.
We also saw the next place we should go.
Oh.
Super Barrio.
Yeah, I've been to Super
I've
Mario,
never been
man.
to Super Barrio.
That was really fun. See, like their arcade setup they had for it. They had Super Street Fighter 2 Turbo, and they also had Third Strike on it.
Really?
They had said they were going to upgrade quite a lot of it because the last time we went in there, they had Time Crisis free, but none of the guns worked for it. The only issue I had with that place was that their drink was a wee bit too expensive for what they were charging for their cans. But
probably just because it's a niche place, like they think they can get away with it. You know?
But I still had fun.
That patches in night out.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah. We'll get wee GoPros strapped to our chests.
End up the catty like fuck.
We're totally derailed.
We'll do a podcast from inside the bar. We get drunker and drunker and drunker.
End of the night, just like the toilet. First person puke cam.
We'll twitch the whole thing.
Oh, imagine that.
Who
donated to us there?
Have you donated to us? We'll take all these shots.
That's damage.
That sounds like the best idea.
Yeah. Have you, while we're on the subject of VR, have you tried the new Spiderman Far From Home VR?
I have not, but I have heard that it's amazing.
It's good fun. There's not a lot to it. Well, having said that, there's a lot more to it than the previous one. I'm assuming you played the Homecoming.
Yeah, I played the Homecoming one.
Which is very short,
very point to point, and you could just.
It's a lot of fun though.
It's basically just you go to certain points, whereas this one you can actually swing about and you can turn. You get the same use the buttons to turn so many degrees and that. It's a lot of fun. I think it's only on the US store, which is annoying, but you can just make a US account.
I think I've got one.
Go on, download it, and then play on your regular.
That's
one.
tips from the Patches In boys.
Yeah.
Make a US account. Download your Spidermans.
But no, it's definitely fun, man. There's like a wee campaign story mode which has absolutely nothing to do with the film. You fight this big robot thing, and there's no robots in the film. We went to see the film just last week, so I don't know where that came from, but it's a lot of fun.
From the imagination.
So do you do just a lot of swinging?
Hey.
In the story, basically, you'll swing about, and
how's New York? Does it look as good as
see that there's not a lot of
Spiderman?
detail in it.
So?
Like,
is it very far?
You get all the buildings and stuff like that, but there's like no cars on the ground or pedestrians or anything like that. So it does feel quite empty. But
I don't know if they've been trying to do the Spider-Man PS4 engine, try and use that. But that game looked amazing. It may be way too.
It's literally just a wee experience. It's
just
to promote the movie. You know what I mean, it's not like meant to be a game or anything like that. Although that would be amazing if they fleshed it out. But there's like a campaign where you fight this robot and you do a couple of different mechanics, and then you can do like a free roam, and you can go about and you can do like time trials. So like you need to swing through the gates in time, which is a lot of fun and quite difficult as well. You get different modes as well. You get like immersive, where you need to do like all of the swinging. And there's a basic one. I never bothered with the basic one because it's just more fun to do the actual swinging. And there's like combat trials as well. You shoot these wee drones that shoot at you, and if they shoot you, then they disable your web blasters and stuff like that. So you need to get away from them. It's a lot of fun though. It's just swinging about. I remember even playing like the old Spider-Man games. Just sometimes even after I'd finished the game, just swinging about because it's just fun, you know. Like,
Spider-Man PS4 is good like that.
So you can just be in it.
Do you think this is maybe them testing the waters for it because you've seen that they're doing an Iron Man VR game?
Yeah.
So maybe they're just like, well, if this teaser's doing really well, the Iron Man game may actually be a success, and then we can do like.
I mean, it's a great crossover of geeks and stuff like that like Marvel movies and superhero movies are very likely to be into games and VR and tech and stuff like that. So it's a perfect sweet spot of that marrying those two kind of fandoms. I think so. It would be great if they did. Like one of the best VR games I've still played on the PlayStation is the Batman one, and that's pretty short. It was a decent amount. It wasn't that short for its time because it was one of the first ones, really, wasn't it?
It was like 2 or 3 hours long.
Yeah, and it was one of the. This was very early in the PSVR stage, so
that made me buy a VR.
I'd love to see more of that type of thing.
I was not sold on VR until we went to EGX in Birmingham, and was it me and you, Dom? No, me and Ross. We waited in a queue for like an hour to try it, and I was like, I maybe don't want to do this. I'm not interested. And they're like, oh, you can be Batman. I was like, oh, sign me up. I put the goggles on for the first time and just amazed. Like, just the experience itself cannot be explained unless you put on the headset.
Yeah, it's like the same thing with 4K, and the same thing even just with going from standard definition to high definition. People are saying, "Oh, it's so much clearer, it's so much better," and you think it can't really be that much better. You know, you can't really imagine it until you've actually done it.
Yeah.
And it's when you do it, you're like, wow, holy shit, this is really different.
Cause like they had like the PlayStation events in Glasgow for it, and I went up, and that's for the first time I tried the VR for it. And there was no chance of getting Batman. Batman was there, but you couldn't. I think they said like, yeah, you're gonna have to wait till 5 o'clock in the evening. No one's, we don't have that. We've got Rigs.
Oh.
Drive Club.
Drive Club.
They
Yeah.
had that, and they had the demo of Until Dawn's Rush of Blood.
Oh yeah.
So I was like, I like Until Dawn. I'll go for that, and I'll go for Rigs. Put on Rigs, and there was like for the mech sort of shooting sort of game for it, and you had to score points by putting yourself into a hole in the other team's place before you get blown up. And that was crazy because the first thing that they do is they shoot you up. So you're like up in the air and you look down, you're like, what the fuck? Oh my! And it was.
Were you sick on that one?
No. Like again, that's like why it was very bizarre when that happened to me with the racing. But then, like, I was running about going, "Oh, this is amazing!" You could hear the crowd yelling, and it's pretty good. But then, what sold me on that was the Rush of Blood.
Yeah,
that really sold me on that.
Out of those games, I'd say Rush of Blood's the one to sell it. You know.
So it was the second level after you sort of do the wee tutorial bit, and it's just like you've got these clowns coming at you, just shoot them. I'm like, okay. And they came up and you felt the move control. I'm like, oh, these are quality, these are the new move controllers. The guy's like, no, that's the ones you got for the PS3.
I'm
like,
we had boxes and boxes and no one would buy them, so
and
we
then
had to figure a way to get them.
And they pumped them all the way back up and sold them. I'm sure I'm crazy, but
they went from £2 each to fucking £75 a pair.
It was nuts.
I was lucky to get them some kind of cash converters or something like that. Like, got them for a tenner for the two of them or something like that.
I got them at charity shops.
Yeah, it's crazy. But so speaking of like Spidermans, you guys and Hamish touched on it earlier. How was the movie of Spiderman's Homecoming?
It was really good.
Far From Home.
Homecoming's the other one. Apologies there.
Yeah, straight away. Spider-Verse is still better.
Mm-hmm.
But
I really like the Spider-Verse film, and it's great. But
I think Spider-Verse is the best Spider-Man film I've ever seen.
Mm-hmm.
I also think that the MCU Spider-Man films.
Oh, is this going to be controversial?
I think Raimi first two Spider-Man films are better than the MCU Spider-Man films.
Spider-Man 2, see,
mainly
because Dr. Octavius, man. Dr. Octavius was fucking brilliant.
Yeah.
They're different, and especially in this one, he's very much more Iron Spider than
Spider-Man.
Spider.
Hugh thinks I have trouble saying that word, Spider.
Spider.
Yeah, the only thing that gets me about the MCU is just Spider-Man is not relegated, but he's almost like a
background character.
Yeah. Well, he's meant to be like a city level hero. He's not meant to be a global one, and he even touches on that. Like when they're asking him to help, Nick Fury's asking him to help in the film, and he's like, "Well, where's Thor? Where's Captain Marvel? Where's
where's all these others?"
So, and obviously they make the film and it's Spider-Man anyway. So, but he is kind of meant to be like city level, friendly neighborhood Spider-Man. You know what I mean? So
yeah. I don't know. I maybe.
It's because you got your expectations too high, because like Spider-Verse was one of those movies that like I went in going, alright, it's interesting, it's not going to be Peter Parker and it's going to be more of an animated film for it. I'll give it a shot. And I came out going, that was absolutely amazing. I want more of this. But then it's more because I think it's because of the Raimi movies and because of like the MCU sort of playing it safe. Well, Spider-Verse did a lot of things that they, artistically,
having Nick Cage as a
Nick Cage is like
Spider-Man
noir. Yeah, it's like it's
having Spider-Pig and stuff like that. Like if you
weird things.
If you said that in like an MCU Spider-Man film, they'd be like, no, that's just weird.
That's like the mainstream people won't get this.
We've got a talking raccoon and a talking tree, but Spider-Pig's just a bit.
It might be the one weakness of the MCU that the films haven't really changed from when Jon Favreau made
Iron Man 1, yeah.
So like maybe I'm expecting Spider-Man's films to have a different flavour than Iron Man,
mm-hmm.
but they all like I was like, oh, this could be any of these films. They could just have this as MCU film number 22.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
it's still good. It's still really good.
They're probably just
still worth seeing.
If it ain't broke, don't fix it kind of attitude towards it. You know what I mean? They're already making bank on all of them, so they probably think, why
Why risk?
You know
Why
what I
risk?
mean?
I just like, because these characters have so much their own styles.
Yeah.
Lean into those styles. Like Spider-Verse leaned into the kind of the weirdness of some of the Spider-Man villains. Like Jake Gyllenhaal did really well as Mysterio, but they could have leaned into that a lot more. Like, I didn't know what his personality actually was. Was he sympathetic, or was you know the deal?
Yeah.
You
know what Mysterio is like.
You don't know if he's sympathetic or he's a psychopath.
Yeah.
Because they played him both ways during the film, and I was like, am I meant to feel sorry for this guy?
Yeah.
But
Well, I suppose a case could be made for that. Like, it's going to spoil it for Dom, but you basically find out that he was fucked over by someone else previously, and so there's definitely the
who do you think
sympathetic
fucked him over?
aspect. But
Vulture?
No. If
Oh,
you
is
didn't
it-
guess,
is
if
it
you didn't
Tony?
guess it's Tony.
Yeah.
Who fucked everyone over?
Tony's Mr. Fuckable.
See,
Wait.
You goddamn right.
I think they hit on that too much though.
Yeah.
And obviously Vulture was the same, and you know, even like the events of Ultron and stuff like that, it was all Tony's fault. It's a bit overused, but I think with the death of Tony, they talk about him a lot in it. You know, he's still very much a part of it.
Well, I think it's because it just happened as well.
Yeah,
in their
it's
universe,
fresh,
it's like
yeah.
something that's like a big deal. Like he basically saved the universe to their
Yeah.
knowledge, but I'm assuming they're just like, oh, everyone on Earth's back,
Yeah,
rather than like all the
they
universes.
call it the blip.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
But they wouldn't have known all the ins and outs. They wouldn't have known it was Tony.
Yeah,
It would have been just.
It was a nice ending to this.
Yeah, a nice epilogue.
Bookends this story, and then obviously there's an after credit scene
Ooh.
which has raised a ton of questions.
Okay, don't say it.
Well,
I really want to see it. I do want to see that.
Yeah, the first after credits, like the one right after the credits, is brilliant.
It's brilliant.
Cameo from a familiar face. I won't say who, because when you see them, it's just like,
You'll be very
oh,
happy.
brilliant. But then the one at the end, the very end after credits one, it does make you go, oh, interesting. Where are they going with
Where's
this?
this coming? Yeah.
And it's probably just going to usher in the next phase of it. You know,
Right.
now
So that's what they're
finished
saying. They're
Thanos
doing
and
the
that,
next phase for it as well.
Yeah.
Who's going to be the big bad? I'm putting money on my boy Galactus.
Now you thinking Big Galactus in? Like he's not going to be a smelly cloud this time from like the Fantastic
Yeah.
Four.
Yeah, that was weird.
Remember that Rise of Silver Surfer with Lawrence Fishburne? Is a Silver
Yeah.
Surfer?
That was good. Silver.
Was that Lawrence
Silver
Fishburne?
Fusher.
I don't know.
Was that Lawrence
Could
Fishburne?
be. Yeah, it was Lawrence
Cool.
Fishburne.
Yeah, well, you acted it so well. I really liked him as the Silver Surfer.
Yeah, it was
Surfer.
good, but the Fantastic Four turned them into a cloud.
Yeah.
Why? Because Galactus has such a distinct look, the
Yeah.
giant hat.
It's more because they're like, no one wants to see that comic book shit in a comic book movie, and you're like, that's exactly what they want.
Yeah.
And then you got to remember that was what 2006, and
Yeah.
they redid X-Men and they went in their goofy costumes. So why we would want to have something like that?
Why don't we like the goofy costumes? Why
It's-
haven't I seen
It's
Wolverine?
Hollywood, mate. It's
Yeah, I
Hollywood.
think
Yellow.
something's really funny, and all of the Netflix shows do it. Like Luke Cage, for example, he's at one point when you see him with his wee silver head thing on,
Yeah.
and in season 3, I'm going to talk about later on, of Jessica Jones, you see Trish Walker in her Hellcat outfit, and she is like definitely not. You know, they poke fun at them and stuff
Yeah.
like that. But I think quite a lot of the fan base would be more than happy to see them wearing those costumes.
Yeah,
You know, like,
have a bit of fun.
it's who you know. Man, it's you need
Laugh
to
of
suspend
life.
you need to suspend your disbelief enough as it is to watch a superhero thing. So it's not like people are going to go, oh well, that's a silly costume. This is so unrealistic. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Not everyone's the Punisher.
I think that's like
Sweat black.
when they did that with Kick-Ass though, like they sort of like showed you like what it would be like as a sort of superhero in the real life anyway. So like,
I
Yeah.
had to laughing at him.
yeah, they're laughing and having
The
fun.
film freaked me out when I first saw it.
Good.
One thing that I'm interested in though is there's apparently news that Tom Hardy's Venom is going to be in a Tom Holland Spider-Man film.
That'd be good.
So that'll be interesting.
I thought he like as much as Venom was very
Good. Venom was good.
You thought it was good?
Venom was excellent.
I liked
it
it,
was
man.
very.
I liked it.
I bought that
But-
film in 4K Blu-ray.
I feel like it could have been a lot better.
Yeah, but Tom Hardy and like
Yeah.
like that was really well done. I was like, I think it was just
The buddy cop film.
yeah. I would like
Venom
more.
and
Of it.
Tom Hardy.
Have you ever seen like the Amazing Spider-Man cartoon where Venom's chasing Spider-Man and he's in the truck and he's yelling at Spider-Man while driving the truck? Absolutely amazing scene, man. You need to YouTube it.
I agree.
If anyone's listened to that, YouTube that scene because it's one of the funniest things I've ever seen.
Venom's always goofy. That would be good to have Venom in
Yeah.
MCU.
Yeah, that's apparently what they're planning.
That's
It'll
good
be
then.
interesting to see because obviously that was like a Sony film, but
I think it's more like Sony, like they didn't make as much money as they thought they would,
yeah,
and if like if you have to split the pie with Marvel, it's a very big pie that Marvel are going to give you, and there's going to be more money than you think you're going to make yourself. But they're going to give the fan, and more fans are going to go and see it, and they're going to be like, they're going to respect the characters more because they know that Marvel aren't going to just water it down, or they're going to do that because they basically have a say in whatever they want to do now. They can be like, of course, well, do we want to make this an 18? Or let's just go and do that because.
I just want to know who signed off these contracts that allowed Sony to have Spider-Man.
Marvel did years
ago. They had to.
I know it was something like they were going to go out of business, so they signed off all the rights to these characters. But like, see now they must be like kicking themselves because.
Well, no, because if they didn't do that, then they would have went bankrupt. And
there'd been other ways. Like
we don't. Well, see, that's all foresight though. We really don't know.
You can't really.
Unfortunately,
giving your biggest characters to other corporations to have for as long as they want, as long as they make a film every 5 years. That is a ridiculous contract.
Well, that's true.
But then it's like to be fair, like they've done fine. Like even lesser known people, like Guardians of the Galaxy. You know, when that was first announced, the majority of people were like, "Who the fuck are these people?" Like, but that did really well. And it's brilliant.
I get that, but that's the reason they had to start with Iron Man, who was a BEC class comic book.
Well, that's because Iron Man was made to be kind of controversial. It was like in a time of like peace, and he's this warmonger basically.
No, I mean like choosing
movie wise,
choosing a character to make a movie out of. Iron Man was.
Well, it was maybe just like
bottom of everybody's list.
Yeah,
pretty much.
Would you say that?
Yeah, like really? I'm a Iron Man fan, and
that's putting it lightly.
And the character was not popular. Like he was part of the Avengers, who weren't that popular. Like they weren't as big as X-Men, they weren't as big as Spider-Man, they weren't as big as the Fantastic Four. They were the tier.
Yeah, but they weren't as big as Batman. That's what as well, or Superman. If you think
that's what I mean. Superman and Batman are way up here, and Iron Man was like tier 3, tier 4.
That's the point that I'm making though. Like they were able to build this whole MCU from characters, you know,
but
without using X-Men.
They only chose him because they couldn't use the big characters.
But did you think that like they says if we can do this, then maybe we can get them back? And then like look what they've done. They managed to get Spiderman back. They managed to get quite a lot. I mean, they probably. I think that's the confirmed.
Back,
I think they've confirmed they're getting Fantastic Four back.
Who is it? Who is it? Keeps making a mess of it. Is it Sony again? I can't remember who's got it.
Yes, I think it's
Fantastic.
Aye, Sony Pictures, I'm sure, or TriStar. No, I'm sure it's part of Sony, aren't they, TriStar?
I don't know.
But they keep fucking up, though. They keep fucking up Royal, and it pisses me off because
I saw that film and like Fantastic, and I was like at the end, and I was like, what was that?
Because like I really like the dynamic of the character of Reed Richards, and every single time I've seen him on the big screen, he's shite. Like he's not the cat like. They're doing that thing again where they take the characters and go, right, nobody likes these characters that are really popular. Let's change it up. Yeah, and you're like, why? Like, that's not. It's
weird though as well. Like, they had Chris Evans, who obviously went on to become Captain America.
Yeah.
And they had Michael B. Jordan as well.
Yeah, as Johnny Flame.
He went on to be
Johnny Flame.
Killmonger, yeah.
Johnny Gargano. Johnny. Man.
Johnny Zippo.
Johnny Zippo.
Podcast name.
But yeah, like it was, and then they're lucky they can get out of those sort of roles and do something else. But then it's. Do you ever think the bubble's going to bust on these movies?
Yeah, it'll have to eventually.
Who do you think it's going to land on?
I don't
Marvel or DC? Who do you think is going to land on?
I don't think it'll burst. I think there will be a steady decline until there'll be another, not a generation, but like another like a second wind on like shit, that's interesting again.
There'll be a new kind of,
because people are like, oh well, I was into Captain America, I was into Iron Man, and I think they've maybe got Spider-Man to keep people interested, but like, who cares about the Falcon? Let's be honest.
Captain Falcon.
Captain Falcon. Who cares about Captain Falcon?
Even though they've been established in the previous films, there's still not that star power.
They are the side characters of a much bigger story. So Spider-Man is going to be your main man, I think.
Yeah, I think the idea is having Captain Marvel as like the leader, like the Captain America now of the next phase. But what I'm looking forward to is Thor with the Guardians of the Galaxy. The Guardians of the Galaxy. I think that'd be brilliant. Like Chris Pratt and Chris Hemsworth, like their chemistry.
Hemsworth's brilliant, like with his humour. Like, I'm so glad they made him so much brilliant. Chris Pratt's just Parks and Rec, and just he's amazing.
That film's not getting made for 2 more years though.
I know, but I just mean it's just something to look forward to. Like while we're talking about Fantastic Four as well, apparently Noah Hawley, who wrote like Fargo and Legion and stuff like that, is going to be making a Doctor Doom film.
Ooh.
Like, one of the best villains.
Isn't Doctor Doom like? Is he not like a character they sold as well to Sony or to the other company
like
as well?
He's part of Fantastic Four.
He was in Fantastic Four, so
yeah.
But they like
Galactus and stuff like that.
But when they like bought separately, like Silver Surfer and that, they were individuals, so they could make their own profit.
Silver Surfer was a big character in his own right as well. So like, I think everything with like, I'm not a massive fan of Fantastic Four, but they were huge. Like they were much bigger than any other team except the X-Men.
Yeah.
They were much
but
bigger.
All you did is throw Fantastic Four and Spiderman together. Like they've had their comic runs.
What's that called? The Fantastic Four.
Was it the Ultimate Four?
No, it was.
Because when Ben was away,
maybe called Freedom Force.
Freedom Force.
Or something weird like that.
Freedom Spiders. Spider Force. Book that, Hugh. I want Spider Force.
Spider Force.
Yeah. Was there any other movies you boys seen? No?
Toy Story 4.
Aye. So I seen that as well, and I remember when you'd seen it before me. You said you felt it was a bit.
It seems unnecessary. I've not seen it, but it just seems like
you said. What was your feelings again exactly?
It was sad. It was really sad.
Sad?
I just didn't think it needed to happen.
Nah.
But I like looking back at I get like when I think about the film now, I'm like, oh, that was really good actually.
Yeah.
Like, but at the time, I was like, do I really need to see another Toy Story story?
It seemed perfectly wrapped up after the third one.
Yeah. So like, I went and seen it, and it was quite a busy cinema we were in. A lot of kids, obviously some school holidays on at the moment, and I was sitting beside this dad and his girl. I think she was like 7. I think he mentioned to it, because by the time like the first thing that hits you is like 9 years ago, comes up on the screen,
right,
and the guy's like, "You weren't even born yet." His wee girl, and he's like, "Oh man, that was when Toy Story 3 came out." To which I turned around and went, "Fuck off! Toy Story 3 didn't come out 9 years ago." And I went, "It did, mate."
It's actually 9 years ago.
And I went right on my phone. Yeah, 2010 it came out in, and I was like,
Jesus.
Oh, and I was like, this is a bad start to this movie. I felt pure like
just make everyone that's seen all of them feel really old.
Yeah,
and make everyone that's too young like
95.
not have any clue what the fuck's going on.
Yeah, 95 for the first one. Yeah,
95. So the first one's what, fucking 24 years old now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So like, I came out of that movie like. I really liked it, and I thought it was one of the I think it was the funniest Toy Story.
Yeah, it holds up.
And I don't know if it's because the performances from Woody Allen, Tom Hanks as Woody, and Keanu Reeves as Mr. Kaboom, Kick Kaboom.
Yeah, that
like they were really good. The plushies with Key and Peele were really fun as well. They were, like I was thinking, I don't know about these two guys like being in it. Like the wee clip that you always kept showing in the trailers and that, I'm like, they're kind of running that joke to the ground, but they had really good moments. They were really good in it. And by far the most shocking of them all, Forky.
Forky was excellent.
Forky was I was like, wow, this character's actually really good. It's like a wee sort of thrown together toy.
Yeah, so does he just? Is it just because he's got like a face painted on him, he becomes?
So they did. I think it's because like wee girl writes her name on the bottom of his popsicle feet,
like when they had Andy written on
it.
Yeah.
So it was nice to see like something different from that, and him just thinking, "I'm trash," and that's it. And that's all he was saying. Like to begin with, he's like trash, and he would just go.
That was so funny. He's just always trying to jump into the trash.
and Woody's like, "You can't do that. She's going to be sad if you're going away." Because what it is, what I like about this story especially, is that with Woody, it's more of with him. He can't deal
with being unwanted.
Yeah, he can't deal being. He can't deal with being the fact that he's pushed aside, way to the side for it. To the fact that like Jesse is chosen over him, and he's like, "Oh, okay, I get it." But it's like it's not like Andy. This Lassie is not like Andy, and he's maybe a bit regretful that he didn't go with Andy to college, and it's like so strange. You're like, these are goddamn toys, and you're feeling all these emotions for it.
Yeah.
And I like how like
they meet Bo Peep again,
and she was like fleshed out a lot better for it. And
she was like a lost toy because they showed him giving her away like years and years.
9 years ago for it.
Woody's in love with Bo Peep. Obviously, toys can be in love with.
Of course, yeah.
Yeah. So
if you can put eyes on a spoon and it becomes real, or a fork, whatever it is,
forky,
then. You know, it's,
I
can believe
the
that
villain in this story is so sympathetic. You're like, God damn, I feel for that villain.
Who is the villain?
So the villain is
Chatty Gabby.
Chatty
Kitty.
Chatty Gabby.
Chatty Gabby. Yeah.
She's obsessed with. She's in an antique shop, and the reason why the antique shop's part of it is because Woody sees Bo Peep's lamp, but without Bo Peep.
Right. Okay.
And he goes through the letterbox thinking it's her, and then these scary looking ass puppets,
yeah,
you know they're talking sort of,
puppets, they look terrifying.
And they're just pure dead eyes and scared. You're like, whoa, this is creepy.
Weird mouths.
They're like hired goons, and like she's obsessed with the owner's granddaughter,
right?
Because she likes picking up toys and playing with them and that, and she's like, I know if she can hear what I can bring to her, she'd be happy with me.
She has a broken voice box, which is the same as Woody's.
Alright, okay.
And that's what she wants. She wants Woody's voice box.
Because Woody's ones works fine, and so she's like, well, give me that, because like I want it. So at the start of the movie, she's like, give me that, so like, or we'll do something with Forky, and it's
wreck Forky.
Yeah, and Forky doesn't know any better because he's
trash,
just only sort of he's trash. He's like, I'm trash, but he's more like he sort of learns through the movie, like, you know, while Woody's walking with him, he's like, carry me.
Woody explains the first 3 films to him.
Yeah, because he mentions, like, you know, Buzz. He's like, he didn't believe he was a toy. He's like, yeah, I was like, what an idiot. But when he's dragging him along, there was just one scene, like, it's just him walking on the highway, and he's dragging Forky, because he's got his popsicle sticks, you can hear him hit off the ground, so like, and then he gets back up, and then went on for a good minute. I'm like, are they just holding on to this scene for a minute?
See, one thing I've never understood is, if Buzz Lightyear didn't think he was a toy, why did he freeze when adults were around?
Oh, because he thought they were the enemy. So he's like,
so that's a
stop taking
fight or flight, you know, and he just froze.
So we had
they're not bears.
So like she becomes very sympathetic because you realise that, you know,
she just wants love.
She just wants to be loved, and then, you know, you see the moment that happens, and Forky's all happy because Forky's been with her the entire time. She wasn't going to do anything to him.
He learns about what she wants, and he becomes sympathetic.
Yeah. It's really, like, I was like, wow, this is
Woody
pretty
gave
heavy.
up his voice box for her.
Yeah.
Spoilers.
Right.
And the girl picks her up, hears the voice box, and then just goes, drops it back in. And you're like, oh my god.
And you feel like, wow, that's...
Fuck out.
Because you're like, but then,
bitch.
Because, like, did she not pick up Woody? And ran away with Woody to the park?
Yeah.
So you're like, okay, she just picks up and then just goes, fuck it, and just drops the toys and things on. So it's maybe she just wants out of the antique shop, and she just wants to be found by someone else. But then you realise it's just that she's like, oh, she's always felt rejected because, like, I've never had this. I never had what you had, Woody. I've never had a kid that's loved me unconditionally. But I mean, see the way we're even talking about that, and you're like, this is fucking Toy Story 4. It's like, I did like the whole sort of thing with Buzz though as well. Listen to his inner voice, because Woody talks about that, and Buzz is like, he's like, well, how do you think? He's like, just do what's, like, you know, the thing that works, you know, your inner voice. And Buzz is like, I don't have it. I don't know what you mean. So he thinks inner voice is hitting the button on and then just listening to you. So he's like, okay, I'll do exactly what this is just told me to. He's like, we gotta get out of here, enemy territory. He just jumps out the window. And you're like, so I'll you know, they do have some good moments for it as well. But I think it's worth a watch. And the
characters were kind of like, they were not in it very long. Jesse and Buzz and stuff like that, they were pretty good.
There's a few reasons why, like, a lot of the other characters, like Mr. Potato Head and all that, didn't really have much to do because, like, unfortunately his voice actor died like a couple of years ago. Slinky's, you know, George Carlin, he died a long time ago, so there's like, they're restricted for that, but you can I even said, like, I don't think they'll ever.
Did that hinder the film, you think? Did that?
I think it just. I was always like, "Where's Buzz?"
Yeah.
I always thought that.
Where's
as well.
Buzz?
Yeah, but I need more. I need more Tim Allen.
Yeah.
Not Woody Allen.
That's. Looking back, I'd probably go see it again. Actually,
Yeah. I really did enjoy it, and then with the way they ended it this time, it's like, like
That's
when
it.
you heard
They're
like
totally done now.
when you heard both Woody and Buzz, the voice actors from Tom Hanks, and I just go, yeah, that's just kind of done for it. You're like,
They probably
This is-
never thought they would come back after 3, to be honest.
I don't think like it was weird because the way 3 ended, you're just like, okay, then Bonnie continues on with him, and and then the cycle.
It's a
goes
never-ending cycle of death and destruction. But
Yeah.
Pixar have come out and said they're doing no more sequels. They're going to do new
fresh
IPs
stuff, yeah.
with new directors. So
Mhm.
all see the guys that brought through like Finding Nemo and stuff like that. They're all
Done.
done now. They're going to just start fresh
Thrown in the
ideas.
trash like Forky.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
Did you stay to the after credits?
I can't remember.
So they had like wee after credit bits where they like the first after credits. It was a wee like sort of like, hey, we're having fun here, and then the second after credits is Bonnie comes back again because she made another friend. Like I made another friend, and it's it's a plastic knife. It's a girl, Forky, and then they come out. She comes out with the most wonderful line of, "Why do we exist?" Or how did I exist?
Yeah.
And Forky just sort of smiles and goes, "I don't know." And then it just ends. I was like, what?
Expecting some pure.
Because he was like, I can explain absolutely everything to you. Why do I exist? I don't know. I was like,
It's amazing.
you got a friend in me, boy.
Morty's new with him, mate.
Yeah, it's fun. Like, do you know, like, Anthony was going nuts for it. My wee nephew was like running about saying he was wanting a Forky. I need to make a Forky.
I'm sure
Martin
they will,
messaged
man.
me and went, oh man, see if there's any like up in the shopping centre with the ice in. So I jumped into A1 Comics, 27 quid for a Forky.
Fuck's
Why
sake.
don't you just make one?
That's what I'm like, Emily, let's boost. I'm not doing this.
Fuck that, man.
But yeah, I'm assuming there was no other movies been sold, or is there
No.
anything that's been we've not really discussed?
I haven't seen anything else.
Is there
but
anything you're looking forward to?
What was that film Dave Bautista's in? And he's a
Oh,
cop.
he's a
like,
cop,
He's in this Uber ride.
Yeah. Oh, what is that called? I was pure excited to go and see that because, like, see when we were over. I was at Mania in April,
Yeah.
and his pal, like the guy that's in the actor, he was front row with a big Dave Bautista head for some reason. It was really, really weird because they focused on it quite a lot, but obviously they're just trying to advertise for the movie.
I hadn't heard anything about it at all until we went to see Spiderman and it was on the trailers.
He's been getting quite a lot of like big roles now. Like
Yeah.
after see like Blade Runner. Oh that man, he's getting. Is it Stubber?
Yeah.
Stubber, yeah.
Stuber.
Stupor will be because he's in an Uber, so it'll be. But
Ah,
I
yeah,
don't know where
Stubber.
this ST part comes from, but
Maybe the guy's name's Stu.
yeah, maybe.
Stupor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it looks interesting. Like, it just kind of came out of nowhere for me. Like, I'd never heard of it before, but
Yeah. But yeah, like is that what's interesting for him? Anything for yourself here? Anything that's coming out?
Lion King.
Lion King.
Lion King's coming out.
it's like a
soon.
couple of weeks in it, like 19th
Yeah.
or something.
Yeah.
like that,
It's
yeah.
weird. Like I didn't expect like Toy Story to come out that soon, and then Spider-Man like that quickly either.
Yeah,
It's like it's all
some of
keeping
it.
up.
The films just come out one after the other, and then we just let them
Yeah.
die.
And then it's quiet until December, and you get Star Wars and things like that.
Yeah. Is Avatar slated for next year? Still.
Yeah, I think so. I'm
Yeah.
not excited for that.
Yeah.
I don't even like the first one that much.
No.
I'd rather watch Fern Gully.
You and your fun gully.
Ferngully was brilliant, man. That Tim Curry is the pollution. Fucking awesome.
Robin Williams is the weird part. But what was out this week, guys?
What was out this week?
What huge cultural event happened this week?
Things that were very strange, mate. Things that were very, very
No,
strange.
fuck's sake.
Stranger Things 3.
Stranger Things. So, I basically binge watched it all from start to finish because I usually do that when it comes to the show.
Yeah, that's one thing I do like about Netflix is you can just watch all of it usually.
And
Well, why haven't you watched all of it?
Because I've watched the first episode and it looks shite.
really,
You
Yeah.
look shite.
Shut the fuck up.
like we were talking about this thing on the last podcast about Stranger Things and stuff, and how I was going through season 1 and 2 again just
Yeah.
to get a catched up for it. Rewatching it, I was like, yeah, season 1 is my favourite.
Yeah, season 1's out.
Season 2 sort of felt a bit rushed, but then it's because you've watched season 1, you know all the characters, let's just go. and just continue from
Yeah,
there. So you're like, okay, they introduced a few characters, like you had Billy and his sister.
Yeah, Zac Efron's looking like.
Yeah, like he did look like Zac Efron, doesn't he? With a blonde-haired sort of mixture.
He is double of Zac Efron.
Yeah. So you had their sort of them and their dynamic in it, and sort of were doing for that. But with season 3, you can tell that the kids are no longer kids. Like it's definitely teen angst you get from it. I always want to call this breakup.
Is it set
because
that's a bit further in the future? Is it
so every year they get a year older?
Just that's all it is.
But it is just a year's.
Yeah. I think the first one was 83.
85.
This must be 85 now. Because Back to the Future.
Back to the Future, so they had like wee bits like that. It was pretty cool. But in the cinema, like Back to the Future and not Walking Dead. I was about to say there.
Dawn of the Dead.
Dawn of the Dead.
The amount of
love
movie references in this show.
Yeah.
They get stuck in them all. The blood bubbles, like the Thing.
Yeah.
Like there was there's a guy that's just like the Terminator.
It's
there's like a War Games like Red
Red Dawn.
The Soviet thing going on.
Yeah. It sounds like I might like that better. Like the reason I didn't like the first one is just I got a total Goonies vibe out of it, and I'd never watched the Goonies until I was 25, 26 or something like that. And I never watched it back then. But a lot of those references.
Like season 1 was very I would say very sci-fi. But they were trying to go from that. They touched the sort of on top of that. Where season 2 sort of went balls to the wall, crazy sci-fi, like Close Encounters. Sort of with this one with their sci-fi, and this is very The Thing, very
psychological.
It's really interesting, especially like
the characters bring you into. The characters are excellent.
Yeah,
does it hold up to the first 2 seasons?
I think this is my favourite season.
Yeah,
and I'm looking forward to rewatch it. I was saying that to Hugh earlier. Like I don't think I finished Stranger Things 1 and was like, right, okay, that was really good. I could be happy when, a wee bit of a conclusion, or I don't know if it's going to get a season 2. I'd be happy with that. Season 2, okay, we didn't necessarily need that, but that was still good. Okay, I'll be happy if it ends there. Season 3, I was like, that ended, I want more, which I don't think I'd expected to have for it.
Are they planning on more?
We don't know.
It's not been announced.
It's not been announced.
Have you seen the thing that Netflix, that someone leaked from Netflix? The thing they do where they only give shows 2 seasons because people don't join up to watch a 3-4 season show. They join up to watch new shows, so they only fund 2 seasons at a time and stuff like that. Which is
maybe why Lucifer's only got
awful
4 and 5 then,
because it's not creative at that point. You're just trying to hook new
customers,
subscribers. So
just a flavour of the week. Like, what's the new thing now?
So how you meant to develop something if you're cutting it off after 2 seasons?
Do you think that's why probably Disney Plus is going to have more success for it? Because they're not looking at more of a, we'll see how you do vibe, more of like, let's see where this goes rather than see.
That's
how
they should do it. That's how it's been done. You see you check the ratings and how many people watched it, and if it did well, then you make more.
Yeah. But I would say season 3 Stranger Things, like what episode did you get to? 7?
Yeah, I'm on the last episode.
So you're on the last episode. So there's like a
8 episodes, is it?
8 episodes, about an hour each. Last episode's a wee bit longer for it.
Yeah.
The way that the characters progress through it have been really good. Like Winona Ryder, still mum of the year, even though she
doesn't know what any of her kids are.
Yeah, she's like mother of the year, absolutely best mother. But then it's more like you see. I was like. I don't even think she's seen the kids the entire movie, apart from the entire movie.
The last episode I watched, she was like,
there they are.
I'm sure they're fine.
She's just hanging about with fucking
Hopper
the whole time.
Yeah, Hopper's just brilliant.
Hilarious,
like he's just like the cop,
the sheriff.
Yeah, he's absolutely like
he's
Mr. New Hellboy. He's really good.
He regrets that.
Yeah, it was okay, Hellboy.
So they've got their own kind of.
Yeah, so basically, the kids story, usually what they do is they'll split into 3 or 4 different sort of paths, and they all sort of gradually come together, and they all sort of try to work things out. Season 1 and 2 is very much like that. Dustin's and Steve's parts that they have in season 3 are really good because Steve has got the best character arc I think I've seen in a TV show.
Right.
He's like the pretty boy guy from school who got all the girls and stuff like that.
So from season 1, absolute asshole.
Yeah, it totally changes.
Yeah, he attacks the boy's family, the older brother of the boy that get kidnapped in the first one.
Yeah,
and but gets his ass kicked and all that. Season 2, he sort of has a redemption arc of he may be I really shouldn't be that much of an asshole. And season 3, you sort of see more goofy and more of a like side character, but still has that serious potential to be like a good person.
Right.
But he doesn't think he is, and it's like out of all the characters for having from that, and yeah, he's really good for it. Especially Will, especially having him, and it was so because like in the first season, he's not really in it.
Right.
The second season, he's like, something's happened to me. And this season, like nothing's wrong with him, and he's just there going, guys, can we not try to have fun? And they're like, no, we got mysteries and shit, and then they just run out of the room, and they're like, or like, and this one is basically, we've got girlfriends, fuck you, loser, with D&D, and you're like,
I think
come on.
out as
Well, I don't. They hinted at it, but I don't think he is.
I think there's a gay character and a lesbian character now.
Mm-hmm. But like, I think they're more just.
But it's not like forced. Like
no, it definitely wasn't.
That character totally fits.
Oh yeah.
Like
any criticisms of season 3?
It's not long enough.
Not long enough. I would say like that is.
That's not a criticism.
That is a criticism. I wish I could give this 11 out of 10.
Yeah, it was really good. Hopefully the last episode concludes properly.
Yeah.
The only thing is having 11 on the team. She's a superhero. She it's just hard that fights all the battles.
Yeah,
makes the other kids redundant, basically.
No, the characters are good, but like that's why there is hardly any like action or fight scenes in it that include her, because like
it would just be over too.
Yeah,
so there wouldn't be any kind of conflict.
The only criticism I may have with this is just the CG budget. They really need to up it for it.
So I thought Stranger Things was like really popular. I think they
It's super popular.
gave plenty of money to it.
But then like I noticed I think episode 1 I was like, oh, with the rats.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, that's pretty nasty CG. And I'm like, I thought this again, same as yourself. This is a
they've got Netflix
budget.
money.
They had like a machine they've got, and it looked really badly CG'd as well. See, like they're doing the drilling.
I like that at the beginning.
Yeah, but it looked clunky. I don't know if it's maybe because it was the way it was buffered on my telly, but I was like, that doesn't look great.
Right.
There's some good visuals they have in that as well. See, like with 11 with her powers and stuff, she can see what people are doing and all that as well. But when you go into her mind, it's like a black abyss,
right?
And it's like water and all that, and like they did a lot more shots like that in this season, which I really liked.
Sounds cool.
But they took it in a silly level for one of the parts for the kids. Like they were trying to see what they were up to.
Yeah.
And I was like,
the girlfriend's spying on the boyfriend.
Yeah, it was pretty good. I was
acting like boys.
Boys acting like lads. They're the boys.
Yeah.
But I like parts like that, because before I think they were like, we need to have these parts as serious moments. Where this time it was like, no, let's have a bit of fun with this. You know,
yeah,
we're 3 seasons in. He's going to do something. I'm like, that's good for it.
Yeah, it's just like love letter to
80s culture.
Yeah.
80s horror geek culture.
Even the styles.
That's why it's popular as well.
Yeah, styles at the time as well.
Music's excellent, soundtracks classic straight away.
There's a moment with Dustin and his missus that I couldn't stop laughing at, and I'm like, I can't wait. it's so strong, because they play it out for the whole entire thing.
Right. Don't spoil this.
Well, they play it out. It's you know, like they sort of play it out like, oh, she's not made up, but see, like this is so typical. Like this very 80s. They're like, oh, he doesn't have a girlfriend, does it? And then of course he's got a girlfriend. Like, you think this boy's going to lunge this big cerebral thing all the way up the top to pretend that he had to, like, you can't. Wait, it's because the way he's been acting with Steve, you're like, nah, I know you know they're doing for it, but there's a part that happens for it. I'm like, bravo,
yeah,
you hit it right on the head.
I will need to give it a watch. It's on the list, you know. I'll definitely get round to it.
It's still an 8 episode season as well.
Yeah, I was quite glad when you said that.
Yeah, honestly, yeah, it's worth it. Like, was it 10, 11 and 8? I think they've got for it as well with their episodes, like 10 season 1, I think it was.
I think there's only 8 in season 2, mate.
Is it only 8 as well? I can't remember. I put it on. I'm just.
There's no
they just kind of blend into.
There's no filler in the show.
Yeah,
it's
everything has a point.
If there's only 8 episodes, you wouldn't want filler. You'd feel
plus it's expensive,
cheated, you know?
so they're not going to make a 20 episode season out of something that's so expensive. Because
they could
I think
condense.
Millie Bobby Brown's salary now is ridiculous. Like the wee girl.
Right.
11. Yeah.
That just because she's famous from this? Does she do anything else, or?
She's in Godzilla.
Right.
Yeah.
So what's his name? I was going to say Billy. Main boy character. Mike, that's it, Mike. God,
How much have you watched this and you don't even know his
yeah,
name?
I was just blanked his name. Mike, he's been in a few things. He was in It as well.
Was he in that?
He was in It for It as well.
Right, okay.
I saw a trailer for the second part of that and it freaked me out.
He's in his own band and
I was
stuff.
going to say, that must be soon.
Aye, that is soon.
This year?
It's the one. Fuck, I never want to see that again.
What, It?
Yeah, I hate that.
Do you like it?
I hate that film.
Did you see the original one, like the Tim Curry one?
Yeah.
That was brilliant. Man.
But Mike, he's like he's been doing pretty well outside it, and he's been.
They'll be set up for life now. I mean, if they're in the kids, if they're in something popular like Stranger Things, then that's them now. They're famous. You know what I mean?
They'll be getting residual checks for that for years.
Yeah, they've become syndicated as well. But yeah, I don't know. Was there anything else anyone else watched?
I watched season 3 of Jessica Jones. Since we're on season 3s, you know.
Oh, there we go.
I don't know if you guys are caught up with the
no,
shows.
I got up to season 2 and kind of fell off like a lot of other people.
Season 2 was not as good as season 1. Season 3 is definitely a return to form. It's definitely better. I wouldn't say it was as good as season 1, but it's purely just because David Tennant as Kilgrave, the villain, is just amazing to watch. The bad guy in it, he is good. He's Gregory Salinger. He's basically just he's a total psychopath, and his whole thing is he feels he's superior, which does sound very psychopathy, but it's just the way they go about it is really good. He's pretty menacing, you know. He's not even just like even a little bit sympathetic. He's just, you're a fucking crazy person.
You're an absolute asshole.
Yeah. And there's also like Trish Walker, who's Jessica Jones's like friend and sister basically through it. She's Hellcat in the comics, who's a hero, but in this she goes a bit villain, and there's a lot of parallels. Basically, she gets powers in the end of the second season, and she uses them for what her vision of good is. But basically, she kills bad guys, much like the Punisher,
like very like Catwoman-ish. Then
kind of, yeah. She's got like really good reflexes, and she's like trained in Krav Maga fighting and stuff like that. But she just kills people, and then there's that whole. It's basically
like a model.
It's very similar to like the Daredevil and Punisher stuff. Daredevil in like season 2 when Frank Castle was introduced, and he's like, well, I put them down and they stay down, and you put them down and they get back up, and so that's quite interesting. But what's weird is obviously Jessica Jones knows.
What's up with your voice, mate?
I don't know. I need more.
He's thinking of Jessica Jones. Oh, Jessica.
Like there's the parallels of
cracking open on the runs.
Sparking a wee can, mate. Sparking a wee can.
Like people are fine with the Punisher killing people because everyone likes him, but when Trish Walker does it, it's like, oh no, that's wrong, that's bad, But it's good, and it was weird because it was cancelled like months before it was released. It was only released last month in June, but the cancellation was like in February.
They did that with Daredevil and
but
the Punisher as well.
You're kind of like, well, and they obviously knew it was coming because all the other ones were cancelled, and you worry, is this going to be a dip in quality because they're like, fuck it, why bother?
Yeah.
But it actually held up really well, and the ending's quite good as well. There's like a wee, she hears the voice of Kilgrave in her head because she's going to fuck off and just get up on a plane and leave, and he says, oh, that's just you just running away, but then she decides to stay and be good, and so there's closure there. So they were able to wrap it up, probably because they knew we're not getting another one. But there's usually a wee cameo as well, and you get Mike Coulter as Luke Cage in it for an episode, the very last episode. And at the end of season 2 of Luke Cage, you saw him. He takes over like the Harlem's Paradise, which is like a kind of gangster, and he starts to turn bad. And it would have been really great if they did another Defenders season where Luke starts turning evil basically, and the other Defenders need to reel him in,
have their own version Civil War sort of.
Yeah, because he's even saying that to Jessica in the cameo scene, like, I need someone to reel me in if I go too far, basically. And it would have been a really interesting, but apparently there's talks of bringing them back later on.
Disney Plus?
It'll be Disney Plus.
I thought there was a contract that says they couldn't bring them back for at least 2 years.
2 years, yeah. So I don't even know if the cast are going to be interested in it.
In 2 years' time, you might be able to have a chance to do that sort of scene, but then bring back Kilgrave and stuff as well.
Yeah, they could have a jump in in time, I suppose. Yeah,
Yeah.
where
2 years.
he's been running the kind of criminal empire or something like that. Would be cool. But
More TV shows connected to it as well.
yeah,
Like smaller street level guys. There won't be another Iron Fist, obviously. 'Cause
You can have
no one
Spiderman.
that. Spider-Man?
Well, Iron Fist season 2 really picked up. The only thing is they gave the actual Iron Fist to Colette, the lassie, the Asian lassie, because there was a pure uproar about a white guy having the Iron Fist, because there's all the Asian thing about it, and which is ridiculous. But at the very end of it, he's got like 2 Iron Fists and he's shooting with them and stuff like that. Like he's shooting guns and again. Could have went really cool, but it's all been cancelled. So
Yeah,
that's a
but
shame.
you never know. You never say never. When it
Yeah,
comes to
that's
that.
true. Yeah, there's a Toy Story 4 9 years later. You know what I mean?
Exactly. You just make you feel old.
24 years after the first one, we've got our 4th Toy Story episode.
Yeah.
Ridiculous.
What the hell?
And 4 more. It will never stop.
No.
Now it's the Adventures of Forky.
I would take that TV show.
Oh no, man, Kid Kaboom, man. One more of that. Like, yes, I Canada. What a line. I was like,
Yes, I Canada.
it's so stupid. I loved it.
Keanu Reeves is the biggest guy in the world right now.
It's the year of Keanu.
Have you seen the pictures of him for Bill and Ted?
Yeah,
Yeah,
That's the
shaved.
start.
beard.
He's all gone.
And he looks like he's put on a few pounds as well. And I don't know if that's maybe just because he's shaved, and you see, but he looks like he's
Maybe part of the character, maybe because he's an older.
apparently he's meant to be like a loser. So
It's because
How old is Bill and Ted now? What
so
were they, like 18 or 16 in like 1990?
yeah,
So
89. I think it's
that's
89.
30s.
That
So
came
that's
out.
what 20 years later. So a bit like
probably like 30s, 40s. Depends on how.
So
when
do
they
you
want to
know
set
the premise
film.
of the story for it? That it's like, so basically they were told that, like, this is so that when Rufus went back and told them that they were going to write the biggest song that's going to create world peace, what he did was inadvertently stop them from doing it because they thought, this is way too much pressure for 2 teenagers to do that.
Right.
So it's them sort of like realising they've still not wrote this song.
right, okay.
We've just, all this stuff's going on, we need to do something. It's to deal with the fact that, like,
I need to
the
rewatch
adult
those
stuff.
films. I can't remember them.
I watched
So
them
good,
when, when they were out, basically. So I don't really remember them.
oh, they're so good, man.
No, what I do remember is all the metal references and then just the
Take him to the Iron Maiden. Iron Maiden, excellent. Over up, bogus.
I can't remember his name, but the other actor, he doesn't look like he's aged at all, man. He looks exactly the
Yeah,
same.
we call him Bill.
Big Bill.
Big Bill.
He honestly looks so similar. Like he's
Yeah, it's crazy, and he's been waiting for this movie for about 20 years as well because he's not been in anything.
Yeah, I can't remember.
just sitting by the phone for 20 years. That's why
Keanu's going to be calling any minute now. Come on,
His name
Keanu.
is Alex Winter,
Alex, that's right.
and he's also been in. I'm doing this on the top of my head.
Oh yeah, totally.
Oh,
not
do
funny,
you know who had a nice wee cameo appearance in Stranger Things? John DiMaggio. Is it John Karate Kid?
Oh, Ralph Macchio.
Ralph Macchio.
Oh, right, yeah. Cool.
Yeah, he was like, look how hot he is. And
Yeah, they had a magazine. Like, oh my god, look at Ralph Macchio.
he's the Karate Kid. And I was like, yes. He was
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
where's my Stranger Things money?
He was in The Lost Boys.
Oh, was
that's
it?
right, that's right. He was in Lost Boys.
Oh, that was
Yeah.
good, man.
Oh,
I'm trying to see what else. He was in Ben 10.
I mean, this is really good coming off from the top of your head as well. man.
Imagine just remembering all of these things without using a phone.
Smosh the movie.
Oh, that classic.
Stone Cold was in that. I was so sure.
Was he actually?
He was in the Smosh movie.
I'm surprised you know
He's
what
like,
it is.
I'm having beer.
What the fuck is Smosh?
Another
Is that a YouTube?
Oh, right,
YouTuber.
okay.
The
Box
YouTubers.
Boy,
Boxman.
Boxman, whatever it was.
If I saw it, I might, but
They did the Pokemon rap, the two of them, like when YouTube first began.
right.
They were like one of the
yeah,
biggest
yeah. I
ones
remember the
at
Pokemon.
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
start, and they were just like, now they're a bit cringe.
Well, the other guy's not with them now. One of them sort of took his money and left.
They're just small now.
No, he's
Just
Osh.
he's just
Osh,
Osh.
is he?
Osh.
Oh shit.
So is there?
Is that
That was terrible.
everything that we've seen?
Yeah, I think
I've
it's
seen a
so.
lot of things this week.
You said this like 2 weeks ago.
I seen a lot of things. Anything interesting?
You're not even drunk
Yeah.
this time, and you're just in a dick.
So, any news this week that's came out gaming wise, man? You think that's interesting? I do think there's just one that's very.
The PlayStation,
Yeah.
the PlayStation Plus games.
Mhm.
They were originally going to be Pro Evolution Soccer and Chase Horizon Turbo.
Yeah.
It's still Chase Horizon Turbo, isn't it? They've
Yeah,
just
Chase Horizon Turbo, which was the best game out of those two.
Changed Pez to Detroit Become Human. Isn't it?
Yeah, which I think would please more people.
Yeah, I played the demo of that.
NHL or NFL or some other sport that I wasn't interested in, I'd be like, oh, thank you for that. You've given me a game that's going to be useless in a month or two.
But yeah, it's nice to see, like, they're giving you something that's like that game was only out last year.
Detroit's not perfect, but it's a better game than.
Aye, that game
is.
Yeah.
I've not played it yet, but I did buy it because I do this. I buy games.
Detroit you're talking about?
I'll eventually get to you at some point. Don't worry, game. You won't be on the shelf forever.
I'll just buy you full price and then I'll play you when I could have bought you for a $5.
I think I got it for £13 off Amazon when they were doing Prime Day or something like that. And I was like, oh, 13 quid? That's enough. I'll buy that. I want to play that.
There's a demo. I played the demo and it's interesting. I love those games where you make choices and choices matter, and you can even look like after you've done it at this massive tree of all the different ways you could have went, and it looks really, really quite.
Until Dawn did that really well, I think, as well. See the way they had them with the totem poles for it, and and go that was an achievement that you had to get all of them. And
I started that and I never finished it.
That's one of the games that if you've someone that's never played it should play it with you, because it's always interesting to see which ways they go.
Because I remember like
Halloween stream. No, we can't.
How?
We'll go to Japan.
Oh, well, pre-Halloween. Pre-Halloween.
We're recording like a month before, and it was like, hey,
it's totally Halloween, guys.
Spooky.
It's still sunny outside, so summer.
But,
their Christmas episode in like March.
It's March.
It's March.
Not much different in Scotland. It's all the
same. So, like the news that I seen, like the Amazon UK accidentally leaked the Arkham trilogy, which is a lot of people aren't really happy at because they keep thinking that they keep shitting on Arkham Origins.
It's not a trilogy; it's a quadrilogy.
Yeah, and it should be included
in this one.
Yeah, and this is what is bizarre to me, that they've only just did the upscales a couple of years ago, and now they're trying to sell it as like a bundle pack.
Another one.
When I'm sure Arkham Knight came out as a free PSN game a couple of months ago.
I think it was a month.
It's not only that. That game is now a $5.
Yeah,
on Amazon I think you can buy Arkham Knight for $4.99.
Yeah,
brand spanking new.
Yeah.
So, and if you really wanted it, you could get it second hand for pennies from any second hand.
But then,
shop.
Then do you think if people had all 4 games rather than just the 3, that would have some sort of monetary?
Yeah, because you're offering them something they don't have already.
Yeah.
And plus it's a nice, you like buying things like that, like
collections,
yeah.
And then it's a full sort of package as well, because that's went from beginning to end, even though it had like that sort of Origins as a sidetrack for it, side story. But
it would be different if they were still making those games and making more, because then they couldn't make a complete collection, but they've not. I don't think they've got plans to make any more, as far as I'm aware. So why not just have a fucking complete collection of all 4 of them?
Yeah, and then I don't know how much they're going to be charging for it either, because it's been unlisted. It was quoted at £60, and then it just disappeared.
Yeah, no one's paying. If you pay that for that game, when you can buy both the collection and the single, like the Arkham Return to Arkham.
Return to Arkham, the re-released, City and Asylum. So like. It feels like they've already done it.
Does it feel very like people they're just taking the piss,
double dipping again and again and again, just to try and make because what's Barkman?
Are you sure there's no drink in that?
Barkman. No, I was going to say
the dog superhero in it.
What?
I said Batman and Arkham at the same time. I said Barkman.
Barkham Asylum.
Barkham Asylum.
That game was out in 2009.
Yeah,
that game's 10 years old.
Because I remember playing
games though, man. I love them.
Yeah, they're good games.
I loved that playing on the 360, man. I just was obsessed with playing that.
I completed Arkham
100. I think I was the first.
Asylum.
I think I was the first game that I had to say I had to 100% it, completely.
All the achievements and stuff like that.
Well, not just 100% in game.
In the actual game, yeah.
Yeah,
I was gonna say because all the fucking getting all the stars trophies, and. The Riddler trophies was an absolute pain in the ass, and it might have been Night. I think it was Night.
Night was the worst one.
Took fucking ages, man. It was a pain in the arse.
That angered me in Arkham Knight because
angered
me because you had this big build up. It was like, haha, I've got this mechanical machine that's going to beat the shit out of you, Batman. but find all my trophies first. It disappears and you're like, okay. So you get all the trophies and like, okay, that's a lot of time. This get he better be fucking hard. And then you've already buffed out so much because you've bought all the other trophies. You knock him down a couple of hits and you're like, that's it.
Anticlimactic.
I haven't played Night. I played City and Barkham Asylum.
Yeah.
Do you
know the story about Night?
It's pretty much the Red Hood story in it.
Yeah, basically. So, but Arkham Knight is basically the Mr. Red Hood, who is basically Jason
Todd.
Yeah. I was
about to say
Tim Todd.
Please don't fuck up my Batman stuff.
I was about to say Tim Todd there, so Tim Toddy Tim.
They've got to have alliterative names, don't they? It's Timmy Todd.
Timmy Jojo.
I mean, if you like, you definitely play it. You know, if you like the other games. It really fucking annoyed me when it first came out because it had this bug. It was basically
I meant the bug. It was bug crazy, wasn't it?
But it was like always saving whenever like an event would happen. So anywhere around you, if someone was talking, it would save. And if you quit at any of those times, like it wouldn't even tell you, oh, we're saving. Hold on, okay, that's it, saved. Quit. It would just let you quit, but you would quit mid save and you would fuck your save file. So I was like 40% or something like that, and then that happened just because they hadn't patched it yet. And I lost it all and I was raging and I didn't play it for like a month and I was like, right, fine, I need my Barkman.
Barkman rises. The dark bark returns.
God damn, why did I have to say that?
Now you can't blame drinking anything because you're sober now.
That's true for it.
You get another drunk podcast on the go.
Yeah, like I need
we need to get a drunk Smash Brothers game or Mario Kart.
Yeah.
Mario Maker.
I don't know where.
Mario Maker 2.
I don't know where we would stream them. Hugh, where would we stream the games if we ever decide to do a drunk stream?
I think it may be twitch.tv/patchesandgaming.
Oh, that's very nice. And where would we announce them if that's the case?
Maybe on our Instagram, which is @patchesin.
Or our Twitter, which is patchesin.
Yeah, patchesin for it as well.
None of us know these things.
we're just BSing right there.
Search for it. I'm sure you'll find it. Yeah.
You'll find us there.
But yeah, we'll be getting that soon. So keep an eye on Instagram, and we'll probably be doing some streaming. We need to get back into Gears. We've been playing through the Ultimate Edition of that, the campaign. So we do a bit of that. Maybe get some Horde mode on, just in preparation for Gears 5 coming up.
Horde mode.
Oh man, I need to get me some Horde mode.
What we'll do is we'll announce that as well. We'll Twitch it, and Dom can be the moderator of our 1 or 2 viewers.
Yeah, I need to keep them in check. Well, I see your communication. Stop that right now. This is a family stream.
Family stream.
Fuck.
Had some chainsawing through it.
Hey man, that guy had a family. You just chainsawed him with that. It's a family stream.
Swap out the blood with like flowers, just like, oh, it's a pinata, don't worry.
Oh, like the Halo mod. Just you shoot the grunts. It's like, yay!
Fireworks.
Your
Right,
headshot.
I think that's us done for this week.
Oh, that was fun.
Are we moving to weekly? Are we starting to decide that?
Well, I'll tell you what, people, just keep an eye, and if there's one up next week, then we're weekly.
Well, let us know if you are wanting to hear more of us talking in your
shit. What you want us to talk about. If you do have Mario Maker 2, get sending us some level codes. We're going to make a video playing through them.
Yep, and we'll have some fun.
Failing at getting through those levels.
Oh, we did say we were going to be good at it.
Yeah, it's playing them, not beating them.
Yeah, I'm terrible at that game. Anyway, see you next time, guys.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.